Welcome into the Detroit City Fieldhouse for the second match for Detroit City FC in the 2024 edition of the Premier Arena Soccer League. I am Jarrett Mackey alongside Dave Dwayhe. Dave, we've had 2 weeks to just kind of bask in the fun, the excitement we had last time out here at the Fieldhouse. What are we looking for tonight against Zoo City FC?
Man, I think we're looking for an opportunity for the DCFC group to pick up where they left off, to show that they're capable of another gear yet. And an opportunity for this Zoo City team to come in and make a statement. It's a tough place to come and play. That's been established 2 weeks ago, and we'll see what they're capable of.
Yeah, last time out, Detroit City FC did a really good job taking care of Great Lakes FC, some early goals and some really inspired play from Kayla Addison. How important is Kayla Addison going to be to tonight's success?
She's instrumental. I think she's the tip of the spear in terms of the way they attack. They're looking to get it into her, post up, let her do her thing, spin people. She's strong. She's really quick on the turn, and she looks to score. And if players run off her, she's also very capable of combining and setting people up. So she's definitely going to be a one to watch tonight, and she'll look to pick up where she left off. She got a couple in the back of the net a couple weeks ago.
Another great crowd on hand here at the Detroit City Fieldhouse. Staff, family members, fans. It's just, more of the same from last 2 weeks ago. And it's crazy considering the only second game in Detroit City FC's arena soccer programming. We're already back with the second full house of the season.
It's great. I think the players are going to thrive in this environment on both teams. And as a fan, you hope to see some great work ethic from both groups, but also some goals and some excitement. And I think the arena game brings that.
We are underway here at the Detroit City Fieldhouse. Zoo City FC, the visitors. Detroit City FC, the home team. Zoo City here, pretty comfortable so far, playing out of the back. It's easy to say that, and then right as I kind of say that, the announcers curse you, a little trip over the ball there. But right away, Kayla Addison and Tatiana Mason applying the pressure in the midfield back, and then a great ball over the top there. That one played forward by, I believe that was Emily Vargas. We're going to get Detroit City FC on their first attack of the game so far. Kayla Addison gets it in space. One more touch, tried to find it, gets it right back, and a lay it off to the right. Left-footed effort comes in and saved. Wow. A really good save. And you talk about tone setting, Dave. That save right there from Jordan Hartman for the visitors might be bigger than we realized just so early into this game.
For sure. If City get on the board there, that's going to be a big hill to climb for Zoo City. I want to go back a minute ago. I think you saw something early in this game that Detroit City is going to look to do. Kayla Addison kind of doubling down, double teaming with Tatiana Mason, looking to take advantage of any pressure they can apply in the offensive third.
Really good job there by Kayla Addison to latch onto a long ball from Gabby Shriver in goal. Tatiana Mason with her back to goal is going to do well to get it across to Addison. Addison takes a right-footed effort. Always on the ground, not too much, but right there, placement overpowered, nearly messed up Hartman. But yet again, Mia Romeo able to win the defensive header before going back to Hartman. Hartman just kind of blasts it forward, tries to get it out of her zone. Does well enough to do so, but Mia Romeo saw that pass coming from a mile away.
City really putting on some early pressure here. Two really good chances already.
And, early on, a lot of these chances have been created just by missed kicks or whatever from Zoo City, as Tatiana Mason finds herself in some space, works it onto her right foot, laying it off of Kayla Addison. A right-footed effort comes in just off of the boards. Mia Romeo back to Addison. Addison again, just right across there. And just a little bit of a stumble there from Katie Coleman might have made the difference on that occasion. Zoo City here just can't get out of their own half. Breaking forward now are the visitors, playing it out wide. Gabby Shriver might have some work to do for the first time this evening. A right-footed effort comes in, and Shriver gets a hand to it and eventually able to get to it. That was Emma Boland who had the first shot of the night for the visitors.
Really nice first touch from Emma Boland there. Put herself in a good position and took the shot that she created for herself.
Hannah Crum now, first effort in the game.
Pass.
Right-footed effort. It's in front of the net, and Bella Sabo tucks home. That was beautiful play from Detroit City FC. It was two of the newer players that got introduced. Amanda Britton kind of laid it off there, and Bella Sabo was there to tuck home and send the crowd into raptures just 2.5 minutes into this one. Dave, not going to get easier for that for Bella Sabo.
That's how indoor soccer can be played. Making the extra pass for the tap-in. Great finish from Bella. Really good awareness from Amanda Britton. We saw her assist a couple goals 2 weeks ago, and she picked up where she left off there. It was just really heady play from her to look up and recognize the far post run from Bella.
And for those watching at home who still maybe are kind of new to arena soccer, pretty much like all of us here at Detroit City FC, the three players involved in that move, Hannah Crum, Amanda Britton, and Bella Sabo, all came onto the field just seconds prior with that line change. And all of a sudden they put their team up 1-0.
Yep. The fresh legs, the excitement, the nervous energy really paid off for City there.
Zoo City FC now with a hill to climb. It was really pretty much just Detroit City FC in this game already, and now they're going to be able to, operate in that same context, but with the lead. That's got to be invaluable to this squad.
Yep. Always a little bit easier, a little more comfortable when you've got the lead.
A great start for LaRouge, the home team. Again, played forward down the boards. It's going to be Megan Miles, yet another substitute. Looks like there's an entire new 5 out there, except for Gabby Shriver in goal. See Lamanale out there, another sub here. Looks like Claire Serino is going to check back into the game.
City starting to settle into a little bit more of a passing game, keeping it on the deck. Looking really sharp tonight. Sabo
again going to play it out wide. It's going to be the reintroduced Serlino. Played off and back before being blasted forward. Sabo is going to retain possession for LaRouge.
City have kind of established themselves in the Zoo City half, and it's been very difficult for Kalamazoo to break out.
Right-footed effort coming in, and wow, that was close there from Hannah Crum. That would have been one of the goals, early contenders for goals of the season, as Hannah Crum just kind of lined up an effort. And we see now introduced for the club for Detroit City FC, Danny Steffens out there for LaRouge in the midfield. She obviously featured a ton in the W League season this past year. Former MSU player, as we're going to pause this thought for 1 second, as Tatiana Mason goes on a driving run before taking a right-footed effort. But still kind of just got a little bit in the own way, just a little bit. Sioux City now looks like they're going to be able to run onto something here. Number 10 is going to be right in front of the laid off there into the boards. Right footed effort coming in, cleared away for now, but Gabby Shriver was on the ground. That was a little bit of a miss kick there for the visitors.
Goes to show how quickly fortunes can shift. You got City peppering the net on one end, and then Zoo City coming down the other end and having a good chance for themselves.
The ball fell there to Susanna Roberts of the visiting team, and Shannon McCarthy is going to assess her options before playing it forward. Tried to find Kayla Addison with her back to goal. Never a bad option, especially in the context of arena soccer. That one goes off the boards, and Danny Steffen's going to have some space to run into now. Battling off the defender, Danny Steffen tried to lay off Kayla Addison, but still with LaRouge now. Shannon McCarthy driving towards goal, going to lay it off for Tatiana Mason, who sees Addison in front. Kayla Addison using the strength, did a little clever ball roll right there, just unable to keep it out of the hands of Hartman.
She put one in backwards in the last game. I think she was looking to do something similar, post the player up, get a little back heel going.
If anyone on this team is capable of that, I think it's been proven that it is Kayla Addison.
She's done it before.
Megan Miles drives forward here. Liz it off out wide for Katie Coleman. Katie Coleman, a great pass to Shannon McCarthy. Shannon McCarthy forces an incredible save there out of Hartman. That one's going to go up into the netting for a free kick. Tatiana Mason requests it was taken quickly. Referee's going to say the ball was rolling on that occasion. Not too many agreements from LaRouge. Now the referees are going to chat amongst us. But, first 6 minutes into this game, if you're Detroit City FC, you're pleased with how things have gotten started so far.
Most definitely. They've only got one goal to show for it, but they've created a number of chances. They've had the ball in the Zoo City half or third, you could say, for better part of the match, and they got a great chance here.
Tatiana Mason was looking for a hole to open up right there, wasn't able to do so. Going to go all the way back to McCarthy, who lets Shriver get involved into the match before receiving it once again. And then Tatiana Mason has some space to turn and run forward. Tatiana Mason plays in Addison. Addison tried to get a little bit clever there with the feet, and it's going to fall to Tatiana Mason right again. Tatiana Mason denied, and the header comes in and off of the post. Another header comes in, and Hartman gets that one away this time.
Well done from Hartman on those three. That flurry of shots from Detroit City FC.
Not just the save as well, but then the awareness to look down and realize that she was leaving her box, not to use her hands anymore. Really end-to-end stuff here, and that one's going to be a little coming together.
Yep.
Tatiana Mason doesn't know a thing about it.
Handled that very well.
Left-footed effort in now, and another shot off of those boards for the visitors.
Don't want to forget to mention the tackle that Megan Miles just, the series of tackles that Megan Miles just made to prevent a Zoo City counterattack. That was exquisite defending and key for Detroit City FC keeping this lead.
And equally as impressive was that tackle we just saw beneath us from Brindley Neuenhaus, the captain of the visiting team. A right-footed effort being lined up here, but saved into the hands of Hartman. That was Katie Coleman, and she's going to make way after taking that shot. So right now on the field, Crum, Addison, Britton, Miles, and McCarthy for LaRouge. We're going to see a change up top. Bella Sabo, tonight's goal scorer, be reintroduced, looking to get an immediate impact, but it's going to come back to Sabo. We see a foul, more of a tackle, as we're going to get Amanda Britton on the ball yet again. Britton to Sabo, something to keep an eye on, and a left-footed effort coming in, but Sabo is going to be there to clean it up. Hannah Crum, top of the area, assessing her options.
Sabo's done really well tonight, just making some of those sort of shorter passes, those layoff passes. Her hold-up play is excellent, and she's found some really nice seams for teammates running on.
Hannah Crum was looking to get on that occasion, but just the angle, I think, closed a little bit too quickly for her to make anything of note there.
Yeah,
but Detroit City FC enjoying a comfortable spell of possession, as we've seen them do for pretty much all this first quarter so far.
You see the Zoo City team retreating further and further back, really starting to kind of bunker in a little bit as Detroit City is establishing more of a possession-based game in their half. Oh, what a turn.
That was a really impressive turn from Amanda Britton. Let's see what she can make out of it here. A right-footed effort comes in, and it's saved by Hartman. And Hartman did well there to follow the ball, keep the play alive, because she did make the great save at first, but it nearly looped back into her net, so a really good job to keep the eyes on it and make sure this scoreline stays at 1-0.
Definitely. She's been kept busy. She's heating up.
Crum now trying to turn it back to goal, unable to do so. Poked out just at the last second there by Jessica Kennedy. And now the visitors break forward through Sarah Burns. Sarah Burns 1 against 4 in Detroit City FC's half. Has a teammate up with her now. Sarah Burns going to lay it off for the overlapping fullback.
Well done, Danny Steffen.
Are they called fullbacks in arena soccer, or is it really just defenders?
I think you could say fullback.
Okay.
Let's
Probably
go.
just say, I might just say defender. Not to say your advice isn't,
Sure.
appreciated and
No,
taken in note, but
I'm a yes man.
Sabo now on the ball, looking to create something. Sees
that's
the
a
run
great
of
run
Tatiana
and a great
Mason.
ball. Wow.
And Hartman didn't get there, but she did enough to put Mason off of her path, because otherwise she had an open net to make this game 2-0.
Clever pass from Bella Sabo.
Really good attempt there, and quick off her line was Gabby Shriver. She really had to be, because Jessica Kennedy was about to be on the receiving end of a fantastic ball from wide, but blasted up into the netting. So we'll see a free kick here. I believe we got a quick timeout as both players are returning to the bench for a split second. Look to talk stuff over. So, Dave, it's been about 10 minutes in this first quarter. What have we seen so far from these two sides?
Well, I think we've seen a pretty dominant performance thus far from DCFC. They've established possession. They've created a number of good chances. Zoo City goalkeepers definitely keeping them in the game. But you've seen Zoo City come back the other way once or twice. Good counterattack opportunities. City's been up to the challenge, but I think Zoo City's capable of sneaking one on the counter, and then all of a sudden you've got a dogfight.
Yeah, I think as that quarter kind of went on, Zoo City grew more and more into the game. It's tough to come out and try to, bounce back from such an early goal being conceded. But then, in the half, they're probably talking about right now, we needed to score a goal anyways to win this game. So 1-0, it's not too much. They have a lot of credit for Hartman for keeping them in this one so far. And it's just really, these long balls seem to be successful for them. So really just keep those up over the next, 5 minutes getting to the end of this quarter.
For sure. Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think they're going to continue to look to create chances that way, and it's an effective approach. It frustrates the other team, makes it really difficult for City to establish a rhythm if you're constantly just knocking it back the other way and it can't retain possession in your half.
We saw the introduction of Danny Evans for the first time on this team. Dave, you had the pleasure of coaching Danny Evans last summer. What does she bring to a squad, arena soccer, outdoor or otherwise?
She's an exceptional player. I think she's one of the top 2 or 3 players in terms of minutes at Michigan State. She was a fantastic player for them. We were fortunate to have her join our W League squad this past summer. She plays naturally in that number 6 position, the defensive central midfielder. She's got a complete game. She's got no weaknesses. She's a great teammate. Everyone really enjoyed playing with her. She was a fan favorite, but also a team favorite in the locker room. And I'm excited to see her make the adjustment to the arena game, because I think her skill set is pretty universal. She's just really clean with the ball. Always makes good decisions, gets teammates involved, and she's got a pretty lethal shot as well.
When Danny Evans sent me the Google Sheets of who's going to be on this team this year, I saw Danny Evans' name and my eyes widened. I was like, she was incredible in outdoor, and I can't wait to see what she brings in this indoor context. Quick passing, strength, all that stuff is stuff she has in her arsenal, and can't wait to see what she brings to this squad over the course of the season. We're back underway. An effort coming in. Gabby Shriver never got to see it because Kayla Addison did such a good job to hold that one down. And now Detroit City FC look to break forward here. Megan Miles currently on the ball. Really clever play there to use the boards, get Lamanali involved for her first touches of the game. Going back out wide to the aforementioned Danny Steffen. A really clever ball to Tatiana Mason.
Good
Mason
ball.
plays it forward to Addison. Addison lays it back off to Mason. Mason, a really good job to retain possession there, spinning her defender. Megan Miles is going to look for the run of Danny Steffen, going to let it roll off the boards before engaging with it. Takes a quick glance over her shoulder to see Susanna Roberts doing well to press. Lama Nali now top of the area, leaves it off for Steffen. Steffen looking across, and it's going to be Kayla Addison. It looks easy. Trust me, it's not. A great job there by Danny Steffen. Saw Kayla Addison sort of in a wide open area right in front of the net, and she tucks home for 2-0. Kayla Addison adding her 3rd goal of the season in just 2 games. And we were talking about Danny Steffen's passing. We're talking about what she brings to the squad, and that's a perfect example of it right there.
Yep, just picks her head up, sees the open player, doesn't rush it, but plays quickly enough that it still gets through, and 2-0.
Danny Steffen now already impacting the game. Kayla Addison showing more of what she showed 2 weeks ago against Great Lakes FC. Will have another opportunity here to kind of just post up the player and get beyond her. Does so well to hold on to possession there and get Katie Coleman involved on this occasion. Katie Coleman finds Mason on the opposite side of the pitch. Lamanali now playing from a defensive midfielder sort of role. Leaves it off again for Mason, who's tried to get past Susanna Roberts there but was dispossessed. Roberts now has an opportunity to break forward. Goes for the strike.
Great ball.
Really good ball over the top, and a collision at the end of the area here. Interesting to see how this is going to be called.
A bit of a tactical foul maybe from Gabby Shriver there, kind of committing to that one, knowing that it was either going to be the ball or the player, but not both.
Yeah, and she did a great job of that. I believe a blue card's going to be assessed.
That makes sense. I don't know if the goalie has to serve it. How does that work?
That would be shocking to me. I bet they're going
to send a field player.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. To see who that is. Don't know anyone who's going into the penalty box just yet. I believe maybe they just sent someone. Yeah. So now the referee is instructing the player to go into the penalty box.
Sort of symbolically serve it.
Okay. And that's one of those ones. You don't want to be the one to put your hand up to go in the penalty box.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Looks like the first goal scorer of the night, Bella Sabo, is going to be the one to take that one on the chin, despite her not being really involved in what happened there.
She got the short straw or whatever.
So for 2 minutes now, Detroit City FC going to be a player down. And Zoo City will look to capitalize on this and claw a goal back before the end of the first quarter. So those watching at home, don't adjust your television sets. That's 4 Detroit City FC players and 5 outfield players for the visitors. Right foot of the effort comes in. A really good strike right there. I believe that was Susanna Roberts stepped up to the free kick and buried that one.
Nice strike.
And what's really funny is that power play lasted 0 seconds because now Detroit City FC is back up to full strength, just like hockey in that regard. And now it's 2-1.
Yep. Great finish from the Zoo City player.
Really good finish. And Hannah Crum looked like she was going to go through and kind of just get things back to a 2-goal advantage right away, but that one's going to be checked out in the midfield. Bella Sabo now running at the visitors, fresh out of the penalty box. Took a quick seat in the middle of the benches as opposed to on it. Good turnover quick. Bella Sabo just unable to really get that one under control. She was looking to play it backwards to Claire Serlino to get stuff going out of the back, but a really good run here by Susanna Roberts, the goal scorer for the visitors. A right-footed strike comes in. Shriver was quick over to it and nearly let that one bounce in, but a really good job to go to ground and make that save.
Great save from Gabby.
Things are picking up here a little bit, Dave. It's getting a little bit more intense.
Yeah.
And some of the chances for the visitors starting to materialize a little bit better than they were at the start of this game. Hannah Crum now is through. Collision of bodies. The referee is going to give the penalty, I believe. It was inside of the box.
I think that's a penalty shot. Yeah, she's in. She's taken a good touch away from the keeper and got kind of hit by both the goalie and the defender. So I think. And that from
Rumstein, that looked like a tactical foul as well. Very similar to the one that Gabby Shriver took the blame for, which led to the Zoo City FC goal. So we'll see. A wall's getting set up here.
This is maybe more of a. There's a second dot free kick, if you will. See what City cook up here.
Bella Sabo and Hannah Crum having the conversation here. We got a wall of Jessica Kennedy and Brinley Neuenhouse for the visitors. A layoff here. Hannah Crum now is going to receive it, but Neuhaus doing really well to stay in front of that one. And a really good idea there from Hannah Crum. Didn't really work out. Saw Amanda Britton in some space, looked to play the angles and get it off the wall. Definitely brought her protractor to the field house this evening.
Yep. It's a great reference, Mackie. I love it when
he's just trying to. Those watching at home, Dave's just trying to make up for the Home Depot joke last week. He's been texting me about it all week. He feels terrible about it.
Well, I think when you mention a protractor, though, I got to respond favorably.
Yeah.
That's well done.
I mean, you don't really hear the word protractor being thrown around too much these days.
No, and certainly not in the world of sports.
Maybe
commentary.
it should be more, though.
Yeah.
Because you think about sports, I mean, bowling.
Yep. Let's let that be the first of many.
The first sport I think of when I think of the word protractor is bowling.
Yeah.
So that's a good situation. They're a really good turn in the midfield, though.
Nice ball.
Played forward to Belasabo. Belasabo's going to run this one down before it plays off the board. Looks like it's going to be even on numbers in this zone. Unable to, you see the frustration a little bit there on the face of Amanda Britton, who did so well to find Sabo, and that one's going to go up into the air and out. And Dave, ever since that foul that led to the Zoo City FC goal, I think they might have been the better side so far in these last couple of minutes.
Yeah, I think it really changed. It kind of shifted the tenor of this game. You've got City in a comfortable 2-0 position, spraying the ball around, creating chances. All of a sudden it's 2-1 and the nerves start to set in a little bit. I'm sure they'll get through it. It's just a natural part of the game where momentum changes hands, but right now Zoo City are enjoying life and playing really well. A
layoff here, a really good job. I think Hartman kind of saw that one just a little bit too late, bounced off the glass before she was able to see it, but now the visitors go again, and despite an attempt there from Shannon McCarthy to win the ball back, it was a really great bit of play there from Kate McElhoney, who was able to retain possession despite Shannon McCarthy breathing down her neck. A really clever ball out wide. Going to use the glass just a little bit. That's the goal scorer for the visitors, Susanna Roberts, who does well to create a shot out of it, but it was Shriver first to answer the call.
Great save from Gabby, and good aggressive defending from Amanda Britton, throwing her body in there, seeing if she can create a little poke away. Almost made it happen, but the Zoo City attacker was up to the task.
Detroit City FC kind of just stand on the ball a little bit, let this change happen, introduce Danny Steffen in for Amanda Britton, who was out there for a couple minutes but just running hard every single second she was out there on the field. Tatiana Mason now on the ball, going to play it across to Kayla Addison. Addison looks up, finds Danny Steffen. Danny Steffen goes for the shot, unable to really get it as well as she would have liked. The second goal was Steffen laying it off to Addison. We almost saw Addison laying it off to Steffen there for the goal.
Little return of the favor.
She definitely owes her one now. Steffen going to get first to this one. Addison now in some space. Kayla Addison making some space for herself. Left-footed strike comes in, and Hartman is first to it.
I think you see Danny Steffen's influence. Every time she gets the ball, it seems to find the feet of a teammate in a good area. She's got the composure to hold it that extra second if need be. She picks her head up, really picks a great pass. She is a great addition to this roster.
Zoo City able to play it out of a little bit of danger. It's going to be Susanna Roberts running onto this one. She has Mary Mitchell running up with her. Mary Mitchell kind of got beyond Shannon McCarthy there, but never really had the angle to receive the pass from Roberts. And Shriver's going to take this one and immediately throw it up to Tatiana Mason, who's in a ton of space as she makes her way into the Zoo City half. Kayla Addison yet again. Kayla Addison!
That's in the net.
What an impressive goal there by Kayla Addison. Got the ball, returned it, was able to kind of just, like you said, post up the player, turn, and what a finish that is from Kayla Addison, upper 90s.
She uses her body so well. She shifts, she spins, she kind of senses the leaning of the defender in her back and goes the other way with it. And for an off-footed shot there, she sure picked out the top bin. I mean, more like a top shelf, not really upper corner, but in an area where the goalie just couldn't get a hand to it.
Yeah, and 2 weeks ago against Great Lakes FC, she had a goal like that was extremely similar, but the referee called it because of the physical component to it. And I think we said on the call, a different referee calls that a different way. And I think we saw a perfect example of that right there. Yep. A great goal by Kayla Addison, really the whole Detroit City FC team to take, again, a 2-goal lead in this one.
Yep, really good timing as well right before the end of the quarter.
Serlino now. Steffen lays it off again. Serlino able to get onto it. We had 2 weeks to figure out the hat trick thing, and we really didn't. But yet again, Kayla Addison on a hat trick here at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, great finish as well. I'm still thinking about that one. That was awesome.
That was for the second it happened, I was speechless. But it was so funny because when the ball came to her, we both knew what was going to happen, right?
Yeah, it's the situation that City hoped for. Isolate her one-on-one, let her post up, spin off. You're going to get a shot out of it.
And the thing is the Zoo City bench, the Zoo City players, they knew that was coming as well. But at what point, how do you defend that? It's not. But you can't send someone to the line. It's not. That's impressive from Kayla Addison, and we're going to see that multiple more times before the end of this one.
For sure.
We will be right back at the end of this quarter break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for the second quarter of action here from the Detroit City Fieldhouse. FC sitting pretty with a 3-1 lead. I'm Jarrett Mackey alongside David Dwahey. Dave, there was moments there for the visitors. Zoo City FC obviously got on the board, but that first quarter was all about Detroit City FC and how physical they can be when they need to be.
Yeah, I think you saw there was a little stretch kind of toward the end of that quarter where Zoo City were in a good spot. They had made it 2-1. Things were looking pretty good for them, and then City just kind of took it to another level. We saw that in the beginning of the game. They kind of finished the quarter that way. When they're connecting passes and getting it into Kayla Addison, they're a dangerous team.
You mentioned the danger of getting the ball into Kayla Addison, and that third goal. We'll see that goal a ton of times this season. We saw it once against Great Lakes FC. Technically saw it twice, but the referee didn't like it the second time.
Yep.
And that's just what she can bring to this squad. You know, when Danny sends me the lineups the night before, it's not forward, it's target. The word is target. I believe that's could be across all of arena soccer, but there's really no better target player so far for Detroit City FC than Kayla Addison.
She's a perfect fit for that position. It really allows her to kind of utilize all of her best qualities, her strength, her speed, her quickness, her comfort on the ball in tight space, and her ability to finish and put shots on frame. I mean, she just spun and hit that one, and the goalie just can't react quickly enough. It's impossible.
And like I said right before we went away, I knew that was coming. You knew that was coming. And the Zoo City players know that's coming, but there's nothing they can do about it as things stand. And even double teams, you know, you really can't make that work either because you're leaving someone else open up the field. So it's a conundrum to answer for all the head coaches that have to play against Kayla Addison and this team this season.
Yeah, and I think the key there for City was they got that ball into her so early that there wasn't really a lot of traffic around her. It was a true one-on-one isolated situation. I'm sure teams are going to try and sit a little deeper so that they have players around to support, but if you get that ball into Kayla quickly, then, you know, there's only so much you can do.
First goal for La Rouge was scored by Bella Sabo super early on, a really great darting diagonal run from Sabo, who just entered the field of play seconds before putting the ball. I realized this when I was watching the game back. I keep saying back of the net, but it's a wall. It's like
into the wall.
But then that could just, you know, it's a weird.
Everywhere.
Yeah. But so is net. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
How do we make the distinction?
Kayla
We're going to
Addison,
come up with something.
yet again, Kayla Addison able to do well and retain possession. Takes her just a little bit wider than she would have liked, though, playing it off for Mia Romeo, who plays the furthest player back, Megan Miles. Megan Miles is going to play a right-footed ball in. Addison nearly got onto that one. A little bit of contact with a visiting player, but nonetheless still stays with La Rouge. A great ball roll there by Mia Romeo.
Very nice. Yeah, Mia's looking very comfortable on the ball tonight. Some nice square passes to her defensive partner.
Megan Miles laying it off, playing forward by Amanda Britton. Just a little bit of a touch on there from the Zoo City FC player before being launched across. Britton does well to get back and retain possession for her side before Hannah Crum's able to latch onto it and play it forward up to Miles. Miles to Britton. Britton plays it forward, and again, you see that ball from Britton right there. The objective to that is just get it to Kayla Addison when she's isolated one-on-one.
Find her. Feed the monster.
Really good job there by Crum to win the ball back. She has Danny Steffens and Amanda Britton up with her. Tried to go to the right, just not enough, communication. Just a little bit of miscommunication there, but falls back to Crum. Crum looking to dribble inside, but a really good tackle from Zoo City.
Yeah,
Claire Serlino's checked back in.
Credit to Zoo City. They've not given up. They're defending well. They're tough in the tackle, and they're looking to make it 3-2. I mean, a goal changes this thing for them, just like it did when they made it 2-1.
Only one power play opportunity so far for either side. That was when Gabby Shriver, and another really good goal from Detroit City FC right there. A very clever ball across, and then it was Katie Coleman that tucked home to make the score 4-1. A great job there from Detroit City FC. And, 17 minutes into this one, Detroit City FC already has 4 goals on the board. You're going to feel pretty good about that if you're Danny Steffen.
Yep, they're looking good. And I think
Danny Evans.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, Danny.
There's 2 Dannys.
I bet Danny Steffen feels good about it, though, too.
I think it's equally accurate to say that. And I was just going to say, Katie Coleman has found the back of the net twice now in the last 2 games, and she's very wise in her runs forward, and they're finding her in great areas.
Danny Steffen here plays forward. Bella Sabo unable to get it connected on that occasion, but a great tackle by McCarthy. Sabo again just able to kind of poke her foot at it, just didn't get enough power on it. The placement wasn't what she would have wanted it to be either. And, we saw it last time against Great Lakes FC. Detroit City FC scores, and then 30 seconds later they're scoring yet again. But the visitors here looking to get one back, but Shriver looked like she had that one the whole way from Susanna Roberts.
Good effort from Roberts. Shannon McCarthy 30 seconds ago tackling with every fiber of her being, just threw her entire body into that one.
Danny Steffen lays it off for McCarthy, going all the way back to Claire Serlino with some space. Danny Steffen on the turn here, lays it off back out wide. back inside. It's going to be Sabo in front of the net. Coleman with the right foot of that effort. That one's going to sail up into the netting. So a little bit of space here for Zoo City FC to breathe just a little bit. What a fun game so far, huh,
Yeah,
Dave?
good chances going both ways. You've had some great offensive soccer. Teams are working hard defensively, of course, but just the quality on the field is such that you're going to get chances. And Detroit City have had the majority of them, but Zoo City perfectly capable of scoring, and they're not out of this thing.
A good throw from Hartman there is going to make it all the way back to Shriver after a really clever sort of back pass there from Serlino. Able to find McCarthy out wide. McCarthy has some space and time to decide what she wants to do with this one. Elects to play it forward to Kayla Addison. Kayla Addison yet again back to goal, going toward the board, but then cutting back inside. Finds Serlino back to Addison yet again.
That ball Shannon McCarthy played forward. That's the ball City want, that early ball into their target.
McCarthy has that one saved.
Good save.
And we saw this against Great Lakes FC. Detroit City FC creates so many chances, and on that occasion it was Hartman that made the save. But 2 weeks ago, the Great Lakes keeper was able to keep them in that game maybe longer than they should have been.
Yeah, I think a good goalkeeper performance in an arena game can really, just like in hockey, you get a hot goalie, all of a sudden start to second guess yourself offensively. You don't shoot the same shot because you're a little frustrated.
Tatiana Mason, that one comes in, took a little bit of an awkward bounce before coming back out, but yet again, Detroit City FC does well to win possession. This time it was Bella Sabo on the press, who does well to get out of that little scrum that she was a part of and get possession back for her side. Susanna Roberts, the goal scorer, and at times really the only threat for the visiting team, receives the ball and just kind of just bodied off of it right there. That was Lamanali on that occasion. Shriver again has some time to assess the situation. A little bit of a line change for Detroit City FC there, and elects to go forward to Kayla Addison.
Great ball
back
from
to
Gabby
goal.
Shriver.
Played across, and the right foot strike's going to come in from Lamanali. Just not a lot of power on that one. Wanted to get in on the goal-scoring party of this evening with the Detroit City Fieldhouse. Kayla Addison inside of the area. Back to goal.
Nice idea.
Laid off and cleared away, but only as far as Lamanali yet again. Going to be played forward. Looks like that's Amanda Britton with a left-footed strike coming in. Kayla Addison, really clever poke to Tatiana Mason. Tatiana Mason, right-footed strike comes in, and Hartman quick to ground to make the save.
Really nice sequence there from Britton to Addison to Mason. Just one-touch soccer at its best.
Lamanali, really good job against Susanna Roberts. But you see the quality they have on hand, and that was a really good job by Roberts to spin out of that one. Bested by Mia Romeo against the boards on this occasion. It's 3-1 down there for Mia Romeo, but she still has possession somehow before getting it out. Amanda Britton does well to find Danny Steffen, lays it off for Hannah Crum, and Detroit City FC is looking forward. A great job there by Mia Romeo to get out of that, and now she's got the ball in the final third of the pitch. Lays it off for Danny Steffen. A really good job there to get it over to Hannah Crum. Just a little too much on the right-footed strike comes in and eventually finds the back of the net. I believe that was Amanda Britton in front of the goal. And Dave, you want to talk about a team goal. It started off with Mia Romeo right here battling to hold on to that ball. She's able to break out of it, finds it up down the other end of the pitch, and putting the finishing touch on that one was Amanda Britton to give Detroit City FC a 5-1 lead.
Before the goal, I was just getting ready to say, if you're Danny Evans right now, you got to be thrilled with the unselfishness and the quality of the passing that you're seeing, finding the extra player, making the extra pass. It's really been a significant step forward for them. I mean, they played really well 2 weeks ago, but I think you're finding the effect of a couple more weeks of training and time together. They're just really connecting well. The Detroit City FC players are.
Could be a foul there against the visiting Zoo City FC. It was Shannon McCarthy that went over on that occasion. I believe the arm from the back came in there from the visiting Emma Boland, and that might just be a frustration foul there. Just, you just concede a goal. Really no need to kind of go and do that, but so far, Detroit City FC in the driver's seat.
Yep.
McCarthy signaling to her teammates. That one's going to be blasted forward. Steffen tried to get on the end of that one. It's going to be Hannah Crum making a diagonal run to try to get to the bottom of it, and that one's going to go up into the netting. 9 minutes left in this first half. Detroit City FC's up 5-1. Dave, what's impressed you most?
I think the ball movement, the way Detroit City FC are circulating it and finding the open player and the patience they're showing. I mean, when you have a 4-goal lead now, I think you can really afford to have that sort of patience and work it until you get a great chance. Being in the position that they're in, you get rewarded because I think it takes a little bit of the pressure off, and you can play a little bit. That little bit of relaxation helps you play even better, and they're exerting the advantage.
Referee's going to blow his whistle there. It'll go back to Hartman. Making sure the ball was right or something to that effect.
Yeah.
But the referee picked it up and then put it right back down. So maybe
Just wanted to get a touch.
I can't blame him. I mean, up here, I would like to get a touch
Yeah.
as well. Looks like they're having so much fun
It
down
does.
there. That one's going to go off of the boards before being recycled. Shriver was kind of tripped just a little bit, was able to do well to hang on to it there. And then two Zoo City players kind of trip over themselves, and that allows Shannon McCarthy some space and time to burst forward into the Zoo City half. Bella Sabo takes a touch inside, a really good one, and Kayla Addison now is going to be in front of goal. Elects to do a quick little turn here, opening up the space for the shot or pass across the face of goal. It was McCarthy, but going to be laid off for Sabo. Katie Coleman back into the game, laid off for Sabo. Sabo going to play it in, but a low shot saved by Hartman.
It's great stuff again from City. Just the way they're attacking, the dynamism in the play, and the fact that they're getting it off their foot, 1 and 2 touch. It's really difficult to defend. Zoo City's working hard, but they're always just getting there a second late because the ball's already on its way to the next player.
Katie Coleman now able to latch onto this one. Going to lay it off for McCarthy, who's making her way into the final third of the pitch. Final fourth, I guess. Kayla Addison again in front of goal. Really clever turn onto her left foot. But yet again, Detroit City FC still dangerous here.
What
A
a
great
save.
save there by Hartman.
Great save. Holding on to that ball is impressive.
And again, the formula seems to be get the ball to Kayla Addison, let her do what she does, and hopefully find the back of the net. Almost worked again there for Detroit City FC.
And the City players are doing a really nice job when they're getting it into Kayla Addison, running off the ball, giving her options.
Yeah, Hartman again was able to make the save there. She needed 2 saves, able to get down to the second one to keep her side at a 4-goal disadvantage. Playing it from out of the back into the midfield, but a really good job by Sabo there. Listed as a forward, but has been in the midfield doing the dirty work all night. A great shot there, and Kayla Addison looks to get her hat trick, unable to really collect herself before having off that rebound to get her 3rd goal of the night. Thrown forward, but only as far as Shannon McCarthy, who's going to do a couple clever step overs there, try to put her attacker off, but unable to do so. Back into the possession of the visitors, but then again, one in the midfield by Sabo. Just said, she's not afraid to get in there and do what needs to be done to win the ball back in the midfield. A great example of it there.
See that first touch from Danny Steffen. That's just
Danny
quality.
Steffen lays it into the path. Another great save by Hartman, and then her defender, Newhausen, that was able to get in there and clear that one away. But Detroit City FC still dangerous on this occasion, playing it all the way back. Amanda Britton's going to get it back to McCarthy.
I'm enjoying the Danny Steffen, Tatiana Mason connection. I think they're getting on the field together at the same time, and they're starting to really make good runs off each other, finding each other. There's 2 high-quality players there with a lot of experience in the game. It's going to be a formidable duo.
Danny Steffen back to goal as well to power her way past the defenders. To be Claire Serlino, I believe, with the shot coming in, and then a rebound attempt goes just wide. Detroit City FC, and we saw this very similarly against Great Lakes FC. Despite the lead and the scoreline, you would think Detroit City FC is chasing if you're in the arena and can't see the scoreboard, or if we took away the score bug on the broadcast.
I think they're definitely, they've upped the intensity and upped the urgency with which they're playing.
Danny Steffen does really well there. Gets over to it. Takes the time to assess herself. Not really seeing a high press out of Zoo City so far. Shannon McCarthy's going to open up space. The right-footed strike comes in. A great save there by Hartman to keep the score at 5 for Le Rouge. But McCarthy, yet again, able to get onto this one. Playing things a little bit out wide. A left-footed ball over across to
nice pass.
Lamanali, I believe. And that one's going to be contact. The referee's going to say that it was all ball. Fair play.
City are in that great position right now that you kind of used to hear it described of like teams like Barcelona, where as soon as they lose the ball, it's an immediate priority to win it back. And as a result, and they're doing that very effectively, and as a result, Zoo City are really struggling just to get it over the halfway line at this point.
Gabby Shriver lays it off, eventually finds its way to Hannah Crum, who's charging at the Zoo City defense. Hannah Crum's going to have an effort.
She's got a wicked left foot.
Strike's going to come in from the right. Saved yet again by Hartman. A great job by her to keep her side in this one. The throw, though, only as far as Hannah Crum. It's going to be played forward. Addison.
Good touch from Kayla.
Yet again, doing some great work to get through there. Kayla Addison's going to latch onto it. Right-footed strike comes in and just wide.
Nice save.
Kayla Addison definitely has been on hat trick watch all evening and nearly got it right there.
Yep. She's going to push for it. She wants it.
Mia Romeo assessing the situation, finding Megan Miles, who's newly introduced into the game. Megan Miles sees Amanda Britton there along the board. Going to be played into the area.
Good effort.
And that one sort of just bounced around in front of Hartman, so good awareness there to follow the ball, keep the play alive, and you know, keep her side in this one. Mia Romeo, what an impressive track back that is to win the ball.
Great hustle, and Mia's got terrific speed, but she also timed that run really well, where she kind of waited till that split second when the Zoo City player was a little off balance, and she just swept in and made it hers.
Mia Romeo, you know, you can say what you want about the speed and all that, but the drive, right? Like the drive and the want to do it. It's 5-1. You know, she didn't have to make that tackle, but she wanted to, and that bodes well for the morale of the whole squad.
For sure. You see your teammate making a run like that, putting forth that kind of effort, you can't help but do the same.
Sabo lays it off to Crum. Crum in a little bit of traffic down there, 1 versus 2, but does well to retain possession and get it out to Megan Miles as we have 3 minutes remaining in this first half of action here from the Detroit City Fieldhouse. Miles going to play it forward to Addison. Addison's going to lay it off. Looking for Sabo on that occasion. I thought we were going to see the classic hold it up and turn there from Addison, but yet again, Mia Romeo there on 2 occasions to win the ball back for her side. The second one was judged to be a foul. Not too many that agree with that, and we're going to see a timeout, I thought.
Yeah, it made the ref signal for a timeout.
I was going to say, yeah, the ref definitely signaled for a timeout, but then there was a little bit of hesitation. Everyone was looking around, staring at each other.
Now it's happening.
And Dave, we were just talking about, you know, the drive and the desire for Mia Romeo to make these tackles. And we saw it right there on 2 occasions. I mean, she's been everywhere tonight.
Yeah, she's been hustling. She's a hard worker always, and always brings a great attitude to the game. But with her quickness and mobility in the indoor game, she's a really, really difficult defender to get in behind.
Both teams at their bench talking things over. And if you're Danny Evans, you know, what's her message going to be to the team as we're nearing the end of the first half of the 5-1 scoreline?
Yeah, I think they've looked really good. She's probably just saying keep your foot on the gas. Don't change it. Just keep working hard. Keep doing what you're doing. There really is. I don't think she's looking to tweak too much at this point. I noticed, you know, the play before the last one, you see Kayla Addison really kind of assuming that post-up position, asking for the ball, signaling for it. Megan Miles picking her head up, playing it into there. I think Detroit City's really found like the way they want to play, getting that ball in early, running off Kayla Addison. It's working well for them. They're going to keep going back to the well, and good things are going to keep happening.
We talked about it a little bit in that last quarter, but just such a great crowd on hand this evening at the Detroit City Fieldhouse. And I think, again, I kind of tried to sell folks on this at home the last couple times, but if you're at home watching this, why aren't you here?
You should come.
Like, it's so much fun.
Yeah, you might have a good reason to be home tonight. I'm glad you're tuning in.
But couldn't be happier you guys are tuning in. For the record, we're delighted that you guys are tuning in.
But come out to the next one. It's a blast. Great energy in here. A lot of fun. Great soccer, and a really fun environment.
When you know, we all got to watch the Lions advance to the next round of the NFL playoffs, a little part of me was scared that they were going to get the 8 p.m. Saturday slot for the playoffs.
Yep.
You know, not to say people wouldn't have came out, but I was a little bit worried. You know, different actions in town that night, but thankful that we were able to play on Sunday so that we can have a great atmosphere yet again here at the Detroit City Fieldhouse.
Yeah, we want people to be able to support both Detroit teams that are both Detroit football teams that are currently playing in season, and now they get to
big
do that.
games.
And
huge games.
Massive. Yeah. Massive fixtures. Let's hope that you know, if Detroit City FC can keep the foot on the gas and keep playing the way they're playing, they're on track for a strong result tonight, and let's hope the Lions can do the same thing tomorrow.
I'm sure they're going to be inspired by this performance.
I think
if
they
anything,
will. If they're paying attention.
And you know, to bring that back to Detroit City FC's, we'll see a good run here by Katie Coleman, spotted by Bella Sabo, played into the area but cleared out, falls again to Sabo, but effort is saved. And in the warm-ups for the game, you can check it out on socials, the Detroit City FC players chose to wear their blue tops in warm-ups to support the Detroit Lions in the run that they're currently on. So a really cool gesture there by the team. That was, as far as I know, that was decided on by the team, and a great job. And hopefully folks are seeing that. Another shot there comes in, going to be off of the boards, and Zoo City kind of has numbers to go forward here. A really clever ball off of the board, and that one's played forward. Shriver, though, off of her line.
Oh, that's smart. That's just smart. That's smart from Gabby Shriver. That's experience there. And quality. Yeah. I mean, she's got the technique to pull that off.
It was really another goal, I think, found its way into the back of the net. I think that one was just an unlucky deflection. Bella Sabo does well to get her second goal of the evening. Score is now 6-1 with just a minute and a half left to go.
Or is that Katie Coleman? That's Katie Coleman. That's my bad. I think I misattributed that one.
There's, you know, after some of the goal, it's let's break the fourth wall a little bit here. When the team's playing down there, it's a little bit hard for us to see the numbers on the back of the kids.
Yep.
Beautiful kids.
Beautiful.
Just a little bit difficult to see the numbers at times. So whenever I'm unsure, I look over at Dave Dwayhe. So Dave, if you got that one wrong, I'm not gonna.
That's
I'm not
on
taking
me.
the
I'm
fall
going to take that one,
Yeah,
Mackie.
okay.
And apologies to Katie Coleman. That was her goal.
I think somewhere in the DCFC laws, if you played on that 2012 roster, you can get goal scorers wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I get a little bit of leeway.
Yeah.
If for no other reason.
I don't think
'cause
there's
I'm
anyone around here with more leeway than Dave Dwayhe. Not that he ever needs it. but
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Good to know that you've got it.
Kayla Addison leaves it off, and that one's going to be cleared out by Zoo City FC, who's just really looking to get the end of this half. You know, you feel like that's got to be the mentality for them. We just got 63 seconds left in this first half.
A little bit of damage control, get to halftime, regroup, trying not to let Detroit City FC extend this lead any more than they have in the second quarter.
Tatiana Mason doing a really good job to press there and win the ball back. Mason's going to assess her options, looking forward. Sees Kayla Addison one-on-one. That's never a bad situation to be in, as Kayla Addison's going to open her body up and play in Shannon McCarthy, who's waiting on the top of the area there. Leaves it off for Lama Nali.
Yep.
Dribbling forward. Laid off. Amanda Britton on the right side. That one flashes across the face of goal. 30 seconds remain in this first half from the Detroit City Fieldhouse.
Even if you're City at this point, I think you're looking at the clock, managing the game, and saying let's not concede. 6-1 would be a great scoreline to come into the half with. Maybe get a chance at the end here, but ultimately not give Zoo City any opportunity to make this thing more interesting than it needs to be.
Zoo City, one of two teams that play in the Kalamazoo area, so they're competing for talent, and you know that might be a part of the reason that maybe they're not able to have this for the season that they're envisioning so far. But definitely a lot of time to improve on that and kind of end the season stronger than they've started it.
Yep, there's a lot of quality on this team. You can tell that they're capable of better than this, and you know there was a stretch of the game where it was very, very even, and they were very much in it. They're going to try and make some adjustments and come in the second half and find their way back in.
Detroit City FC going into the half with a score line of 6-1. A really impressive attacking display. 2 goals from Bella Sabo, 2 goals from Kayla Addison. Just been really impressive for Detroit City FC so far.
Yep, a fun game to watch. A lot of scoring chances, good back and forth action, and a lot of quality in the play. Some great passing sequences that have led to goals. Some really pretty team goals we've seen tonight. And some great individual technical moments like from players like Kayla Addison. Don't
go anywhere. We'll be back for the second half of action here from the Detroit City Fieldhouse, excuse me. It's Detroit City FC's up 6-1. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about 14 minutes. back to the Detroit City Fieldhouse. We are here, Detroit City FC holding on to a 6-1 lead over the visiting Zoo City FC. And Dave, what stood out to you most in that first half of action?
Well, I think, excuse me, I think the way Detroit City FC were able to pull away in that second quarter, just the way they exerted themselves, the way they were able to pressure the ball and kind of set up camp in the Zoo City half, just a testament to their quality, but also the way they didn't take their foot off the gas. The aggressive play, it all continued, and I thought they really took advantage of their opportunities.
Yeah, Detroit City FC really only got stronger as that half went on, which was crazy because when you start off scoring a goal inside of the first minute and a half, you kind of think, how's the rest of this game going to go? And they really just lived up to those expectations that they set right out of the gates.
Yep, very much so.
A big hill to climb for the visiting Zoo City FC. A great little light show, halftime performance at halftime here at the Detroit City Fieldhouse. What's not to love? Why aren't you here?
Production value, A+.
And we see the little skeleton inflatable two-man in the corner, one of the biggest supporters, literally the biggest supporter here in the Fieldhouse this evening, keeping the crowd going throughout the course of the halftime.
Yep, well said.
Back underway, the players from both benches emerging. Kayla Addison waving to the fans here on a hat trick watch for this entire second half. We'll see if she can, as well as Bella Sabo, let's not forget, she's on a hat trick as well. So a little competition to see who's going to get the first hat trick in the history of this Detroit City FC arena soccer side, and also the first hat trick of 2024.
That's right. Kayla Addison, already the inaugural goal scorer for our PASL team, maybe looking to put her name in another column there with a hat trick.
Inaugural goal scorer, highest goal scorer. I mean, every time she scores, it's a new record, right?
That's right.
As Neil Rule used to say. So
making history.
Making history. The referees going over their final checks. A little chat with the Kalamazoo, the Zoo City bench, before we get this one underway. If you're Zoo City FC, what do you think they have to focus on to kind of get back into this game and have an interesting second half?
I think they were pretty effective in the first half when they were able to get a ball forward early, when they were able to play on the counter and kind of put Detroit City on their heels during those couple moments. That was an effective method of creating chances for them. I wonder if they'll kind of try and go back to that well, but I also think they're just going to maybe have to find a way to step up their intensity a little bit and see if they can't win those little battles.
The second half is underway at the Detroit City Field. Back underway, and Detroit City FC kind of, starts the second half as they ended the first. Kind of a little bit in control here is Kayla Addison. Does well to get down to the end of that one after watching it bounce off the boards. Tatiana Mason's going to run into space. Did well to create the space there, but a really important intervention there from the visitors. Mason's going to kind of want that one back. She did a really good job to create the space and then just unable to get that last decisive touch in there.
Good track from Amanda Britton.
Really appreciative of every single person tuning in to tonight's broadcast on the Detroit City FC YouTube channel.
Truly.
Mason plays it forward to Addison, who's going to do a really good job, turn through the legs, and the referee's going to say that was all ball. I believe it might have been. That was a really good intervention there by Emma Boland, who's come out of this half really strong, and really good job by Addison to find Mason. Mason now creating the space, but really poked away there by Roberts. And again, Mia Romeo right up to the task, and referee's going to say there was a foul.
It's a good call from the ref. From my view, I thought Mia kind of got pushed as she was winning that ball, and referee behind her was able to see that same view of things.
Mia Romeo has been absolutely everywhere tonight. It's been so impressive when she's been on the field. Obviously was able to start this match as well.
Yep.
Does well to win the free kick for her side there.
She's really been great at anticipating things, breaking up plays, and just being a general menace on defense.
Britton now back to goal, has Kayla Addison and Tatiana Mason in the midfield, but does really well to get through and power through that one, and it's going to win a free kick for her side. The tenacity there to stay in that play, keep it alive, really good job there.
Good strength from Amanda Britton. She's a tough one.
It's going to be pretty much on that dot for Tatiana Mason here. Does well to win the ball a little bit further away from the boards. Referee making sure everything's good on her end before this free kick comes in. Detroit City FC setting up with about 4 players just on the edges of the Zoo City FC box.
These are the situations that in arena soccer you can really rehearse. These set pieces close to goal. We'll see if Detroit City FC have anything up their sleeve.
Mason lays it off for Miles. Miles, the shot comes in. It kind of took a weird deflection off of Kayla Addison, who was being defended well by the captain, Brindley Neuenhaus, for the visitors. going all the way back to Shriver, who's going to blast it forward. Kayla Addison kind of a little bit late to react to it, but it gets a foot onto it nonetheless, and Kayla Addison looks like to burst forward here in search of her third goal of the evening. Plays in Mia Romeo, who's making a run from deep. Mia Romeo, left-footed effort, comes in, and a really close effort there. And if anyone really deserves a goal this evening on this team, it is Mia Romeo for the work she's been putting in.
Yep, for sure. She's made a couple nice runs forward. I think she's going to get another chance or two, and for her, so much of it's just come down to the effort she's making. Great pass from Katie Coleman.
Danny Steffen now running into the area, leaves it off for Katie Coleman. Katie Coleman tried to go between the keeper and the wall, unable to do so on that occasion, and it's going to go out and back into the possession of the visiting Zoo City FC, who looked to break forward here. It looks like it was 2-on-4 for a split second there, not in favor of the visitors, so always a hill to climb on that occasion. Great job to win it back from Katie Coleman. Katie Coleman entering the final third of play, blasted up into the netting.
Said it in the first half, Jared. The Detroit City FC players playing like they're chasing the game, playing like they're trying to come back from behind. Moments in that recent sequence there where they're leaving their feet, flying into tackles, pressuring the ball. They really have kind of picked up where they left off in that regard, and it's making a huge difference.
Melissa Kinn enters the field of play for, I believe, the first time so far this evening. I haven't said her name all night. She was a great personality at Media Day, a great locker room player to have, and she gets rewarded here with some playing time in this third quarter.
Great ball from Gabby Shriver. Gets them going the other way.
A good ball, and Claire Serlino is now running into some space. A right-footed effort coming in off of the board. Danny Steffen tried to pick up the scraps on that occasion, unable to do so before playing it back to Serlino.
What a pass from Claire Serlino.
What did you like about that pass, Dave? I thought it was awesome, but you seem to really love that.
I really enjoyed that. I think everybody was shifting one way, and she kind of had to do it a little awkwardly with her right foot, but just recognized that the danger was going to be on that opposite side where no one was watching, and I don't know, I had such a good view of it, but I was really impressed with that pass. Just to have the vision to see that it was going to open up like it did, and the ability to pull it off technically to get that ball off her foot. Things
got a little bit scrummy there in the box between Hannah Crum and her defender, but eventually everyone gets up onto the floor. Really good turn there by Hannah Crum, yet another player who featured for the W League team this summer. And you know, what does she kind of bring to the locker room and bring to the pitch?
She's just a fantastic team player, amazing, exemplary attitude. Like, she's always team first. She's gonna always put in an honest effort, an honest shift. And you know, she was recommended by Lewis Robinson, who coached her at Aquinas College and Midwest United, and he said, you're just getting a fantastic character. In addition to a quality player, and it really lived up to the hype.
You mentioned quality and you know, belief and all that, and that tackle right there is a perfect example of that. Winning the ball in the midfield, didn't really have to go for that one, went for it and got the tackle. A foul coming in here, and a little bit of a mix-up there between Bella Sabo, who's on a hat trick, and we see a blue card coming in now.
A little extracurricular there from the Zoo City player.
For Nadia Anzaldua, and she's going to go to the bench, and you kind of saw Bella Sabo in that interaction kind of, you know, get off me just a little bit, and the referee's going to give the blue card on that occasion. And Detroit City FC, not that they needed it, but they're up a player here with the scoreline being at 6-1.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration coming through, understandable.
So now Lamanali going to set up the team here. Megan Miles looks like she's on the edge of the area. Amanda Britton checks in, as well as Tatiana Mason and Bella Sabo.
You were saying, Mackie, Hannah Crum, the completeness of her game, and I think you could really point to every Detroit City FC player tonight and say they're all kind of making it happen everywhere, you know, in terms of like the different features of everyone's game. Everyone's working back, everyone's putting in a shift defensively, everyone's being unselfish offensively. They're just firing on all cylinders.
A really good attempt there by Amanda Britton. You mentioned plays you can rehearse. That definitely seemed like one right there. Let Amanda Britton get the ball in that part of the field and then go for the effort. And on that occasion, a really good job by Jordan Hartman to stay in that play and win the physical battle there to get kind of some of the pressure off just a little bit and get her team going up the other end of the pitch, even though they're down a player.
Yep, just a moment to catch the breath. When you're defending a power play like that, I think those precious seconds are extra precious. You know, you really need to catch your breath at a point because you're doing so much chasing, and any opportunity you can get the ball in the other team's half is considered very valuable.
Good touch there by Amanda Britton. Going to do a really clever spin to play in Megan Miles. Megan Miles has Tatiana Mason and Bella Sabo up with her. Megan Miles is going to go for the right effort on her own, and Bella Sabo's there to tuck in. Bella Sabo scores the hat trick. Cue the hats. I don't know. Again, we talked about this. I don't know how they're going to get the hats through the net to celebrate this hat trick.
Maybe teeny tiny hats.
if you're at home, if you've had a hat on, kind of just wave it at your TV just a little bit. If you're in the clubhouse and you're watching, wave the hat at your TV. I hope people in the crowd are going to do the same. That's a hat trick for Belisabo, the first ever in PASL history for Detroit City FC.
Well taken as well. Left foot, across her body, right place, right time.
Detroit City FC now sitting comfortable at a 7-1 advantage. That was, of course, the goal coming in the advantage during the blue card. And it's funny, you go back, you think about what led to Detroit City FC being up a player. It was a foul on Belisabo. So for her to get the goal through that,
yep.
What more can you ask for?
Fitting. She started it and finished it.
Lamanali going to have a little bit of work to do here on that far side against the boards. Back out into the midfield. Great job there by Amanda Britton. Amanda Britton plays forward. Tatiana Mason. Tatiana Mason has Sabo up with her. Mason's trying to find Sabo. Really good job to cut it out there from the captain, Brinley Neuenhaus. But back again to Tatiana Mason, who lets fly back into the hands of Jordan Hartman.
Good hands from Jordan there.
Who's made countless saves, and a lot of them needing and also great as well.
Yeah, not giving up rebounds. She's done really well tonight.
Sabo now assessing her options. Mia Romeo plays across, tried to go off the boards a little bit. Shannon McCarthy was kind of making a darting run back into the box there, but into the hands of Hartman. Blast it forward. Claire Serlino was quick to read that one. As Kayla Addison checks back into the game, looking for the second hat trick of the evening, perhaps.
Yeah.
That'd be something.
That'd be cool. You don't see that very often.
Ball played across. Shannon McCarthy's able to get to it. Kayla Addison assesses the situation with her back to goal. Leaves it off for Shannon McCarthy. Shannon McCarthy's going to get it across to Katie Coleman. Katie Coleman looking up. She's got defender Claire Serlino up with her, but elects to go to Kayla Addison. Eventually the ball finds its way to Serlino, then back to McCarthy. McCarthy on the volley. The referee's going to say that one crossed the line, and Shannon McCarthy kind of can't believe it. But that one on the volley, Shannon McCarthy
what a finish.
Adds an 8th goal for Detroit City FC. What a strike that was from Shannon McCarthy.
And it's easy to forget the build-up to that play, but 4 or 5 quality passes across the field from City. A really delicate chip up for Shannon to hit first time. What a goal.
At first, I don't know if Shannon McCarthy thought that one crossed the plane. I didn't really think it did either. And then I looked down at the referee, who had a far better angle of it than I did, put his hands up.
Yeah.
And the cadence of saying it was a goal kind of reminds me of a touchdown. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Well, that seemed to be the signal he made. Almost like a little bit of a 2 hands up.
Shannon McCarthy, she'll definitely take it.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll all take it. That was a great goal on the volley.
Great strike and a really well-crafted goal from Detroit City.
Bar
FC.
down?
Bar down. Yeah, I think you could.
The superlative kind of just go on and on for that one.
Yeah.
Detroit City FC now holding on to an 8-1 lead here at the Detroit City Fieldhouse. 7:45 remain in this third quarter. McCarthy does well to win the physical battle there, but it comes all the way out and back into the hands of Shriver for a split second, who kind of made a mess of it, but does well to get down onto it.
Really quick reflexes there from Gabby Shriver to get a hand on that one.
Detroit City FC now probing just a little bit, getting it forward. McCarthy tried to corral it there, just a little bit unable to do so. Back into the feet of the Zoo City FC midfield.
It broke down a little bit there, but I think you see what City are trying to do that they did very successfully throughout much of the game so far. They're finding that player in the middle that kind of represents the transition from defense to offense. They're finding that central player who's then just running at the Zoo City defense, and all of a sudden they go from being in their own end to being 3-on-2, 3-on-3 going the other way.
And we see a timeout coming in here. What do you imagine is being said on that Zoo City bench as we kind of got 22 minutes left in this match?
Yeah, I mean, it's daunting to be down 7 goals with so much time left. I'm sure their coaches trying to give them a boost and remind them that indoor fortunes can change very quickly, and effort takes you a long way. And hopefully, you see some of the players gesturing to one another right now, trying to get a little more out of each other. No reason to give up, and a lot of game left.
If you're Danny Evans, I can't believe the message is anything other than supportive.
Oh yeah, it's all positives right now. I think she's certainly very pleased with just the style of play that right now that DCFC is implementing, and it's more just about keeping it going.
It's a really exciting time around Detroit City FC. You know, the men's first team is about to come back in report. We obviously have all of this. I just can't think of a more positive situation at the club right now. And, you know, we saw, again, the support from the players. You know, new men's head coach Jenny Dicchio was in the house tonight. Trevor James, the sporting director. It's been, you know, all hands on deck, everyone coming out to support this team this evening.
Yeah, it's so cool. I think that, you know, the synergy that you've got within the club right now, you got some of the men who are about to start their season. They're in town already. They're here supporting the women. You know, the favor will be returned, no doubt, when the men's season starts, and the local players on the women's side are going to come out and cheer the men on. It's just really neat to see that dynamic emerge. And then, you know, a first for Detroit City FC supporters, the ability to come out and support the team during these cold winter months. That's been a really exciting new addition, I think, that's bringing people together even more and giving the club something else to be, you know, proud of and creative around. It's just been a really nice addition.
Kayla Addison going to watch this one bounce off the boards. A really masterful pass there from Amanda Britton back into the hands of Hartman. It's funny, I remember, you know, when I was a fan of Detroit City FC tweeting, is it May yet? You know, just waiting for that NPSL season to start back up. And now, you know, the men's season ends in what, November? This season starts up in January. So really only about 6 weeks there of no Detroit City FC before it's back to Detroit City FC. It's unbelievable.
Just enough to get hungry for it. Wow, what a
great save there by Shriver. A really important save by Shriver.
Fantastic save. Great strike from Zoo City's number 10. Yeah, we used to joke in the early days of Detroit City FC that we were a soccer team for 3 months and a T-shirt company for 9 because the off season was so long. But now that's just, like you said, it's been cut down to about 6 weeks, and good amount of time for people to recharge and regroup and start getting excited for what's next. And here we are with what's next.
And it's funny you mentioned that. I think a lot of people say going into, you know, this year, this is one of the bigger years for Detroit City FC. But it's funny, you probably can attest to this more so being as part of the ownership group. But people have been saying that for the last 8 or 9 years.
Yeah, that's a great thing when every year is like bigger than the one before it.
Yeah,
you know,
you don't want to go into a year being like, oh, just, you know, another year, right?
Year 12, or, you know. But I think, yeah, very much the case that we've kind of added an element every year or so. You know, with the youth program and the women's team, and now the PASL, it's like always something new and novel and something that gives people another opportunity to support the club. It's really nice to be able to keep adding layers like this.
And that's a sign of a healthy club, right?
Yep.
I mean, that staff meeting's getting bigger and bigger. You know, it's like it's everything's looking city right now, right?
Yeah. Keep growing and keep adding great people.
And it's working. I mean, this crowd on hand, it's one of the most electric. You know, my dad got anecdote. My dad said that was an awesome atmosphere at the last home game. And obviously, he's a little bit biased. But, I mean, you know, people are coming out. They're having a great time. And it's great to see. It really is.
Yep. And they're being treated to some awesome soccer tonight.
Especially on this occasion with Detroit City FC. Looking good right now. 8-1 lead with 5:51 left in this third quarter.
Zoo City looking to get on the board with a set piece here.
That's how they scored their first goal.
Yep.
Courtesy of Robert.
Brilliant strike.
That one's going to come across the face of goal, but eventually poked away, but still not out of the woods yet. Our Detroit City FC, as the ball is won back on the edge of the board before being played. Shannon McCarthy does well to cut that one out.
Nice.
Lamanali as well in on the action. Is
a
really great ball by Katie Coleman. Finds in Tatiana Mason. Tatiana Mason tried to go through the legs. That would have been cool, but Holt does well to hold on to the possession. Just a little bit of a miscommunication there between her and Shannon McCarthy. But a really great bit of play there from Katie Coleman and Tatiana Mason.
Yep. Players looking to find each other. And all started with a really nice tackle pass from Shannon McCarthy, getting the break going the other way. And here they come again. Tatiana Mason leading the break.
3-on-1. Tatiana Mason does well to find Katie Coleman. Katie Coleman has Mia Romeo up with her. Plays it across, and Mia Romeo, that wasn't really at a good height or speed for her, but it's played only as far back as Mason. Mason with the right-footed effort just off of the right side of the bar, or the wall, excuse me. It would have been her left, goalkeeper's right. As Bella Sabo now looking for her fourth goal of the evening, goes off the wall. Mia Romeo tries to head it forward, and nearly an own goal there from the visitors. Comfortably into the hands of Hartman and plays it out to the goal scorer Roberts for Zoo City. Bella Sabo showing that work ethic, and that one's going to be a foul.
A little extra hands there. Referee was right on it.
Good call there. We both saw the hands. Detroit City FC. We mentioned when the score was 5-1, it was really impressive how they kept going, they kept pushing. But at 8-1, the story is still the same.
Yeah, I think they're having fun out there, but they're doing what you always want players to do. They're having fun because they're working hard, because they're committed and taking pride in the defensive side of things as much as they are the attacking side of things. You know, they're really kind of, I said it before, they're firing on all cylinders, and I think there's a extra enjoyment in that.
Shannon McCarthy does well to snuff out that occasion. Playing it forward, Belisabo looks like she's going to try to run onto it. A little bit of a foot race there with Newhausen, the captain for the visiting team. Sabo nearly put a foot in there, but nonetheless the visitors still hold on to possession. Ball being played forward. Ooh, heard the coach urge the player to shoot there, and a triple save there from Gabby Shriver.
Well
a great
done.
job on that occasion.
Well done from Zoo City to create those chances, and up to the task, Gabby Shriver.
And for the outdoor players, what benefit will playing in this indoor league have on them when it's time for the summer season to come around and the 11v11 and all that stuff? You know, what parts of their game are being heightened by this experience in this winter season?
Great question. I think for me, you know, watching this and having played kind of both myself, I think the one thing that really that you benefit from when you play in arena soccer and then you go into the outdoor game is just your comfort in tight spaces. You know, you're constantly under pressure in the arena game, and more often than not, there's not a ton of space to work with. You get out to that 11-on-11 game, and then all of a sudden when you find yourself in those close quarters, you're kind of used to it, and you're practiced in it, and then you can really take full advantage of the extra space that an 11-on-11 setting provides. I think also just like the intensity of the indoor game sometimes helps players add that dimension to their game when they go 11-on-11. Just the physicality and the toughness and the constant sprinting. It's transfers well.
Really good job there by Amanda Britton to retain possession from her side. Kind of that touch maybe took her a little bit too wide, but did well to get onto it and get it over to Melissa Kinn. As part of the back line now is Claire Sereno, starter this evening, kind of breaks forward into the Zoo City quarter. That one's going to come across, just never really got it on target, but that one fired in again by Britton.
Yep.
Sereno assessing the options, plays it into the path of Britton, who better first touch there might have been through on goal, but does well to get a shot on it nonetheless before Sereno has to chase it all the way back down against the boards on the far side. Clever ball there from Sereno. The acrobatic attempt there leads in the pass from Mason. Mason goes for it. I think Hartman got a little bit of a touch on that one. It kind of bounced up. I think it really was a little bit too high anyways, but Hartman did well to get a touch on it regardless to make sure of the fact that it was staying out. Sereno plays in Mason. A great first touch from Mason. Unable to corral things.
I think another thing that you see when you're having players make that transition from the arena game to the outdoor game is like you benefit from just the frequency of everything. You're touching the ball more, you're getting more shots, you're creating more chances, and it's just a great way to work on all the little facets of the game that are so big a part of the 11-on-11 game.
Something that doesn't get talked about enough. Tatiana Mason was involved in one of the most iconic goal celebrations, I think, in Detroit City FC history, playing away to the Detroit Sun at the corner ballpark right there on Michigan Avenue. Sort of a home run celebration for her and the teammates after a beautiful free kick came in. I don't think that gets talked about enough, so I think it definitely should.
That was awesome. A very, very special night for the club that night. You know, defeating a very, very strong team in Corktown, and special goal celebration.
You got to take advantage of those moments, right? Yeah. When it kind of writes itself, a goal celebration. Yeah. What was your celebration? I've seen the photo of you multiple times running out with your arms out like that.
I just kind of blacked out for a second. I had no idea what I was doing.
Lamanali gets the ball off of Kayla Addison. Oh. And then that signal from the referee right there was sort of like a safe, like he kind of did the safe thing.
Yeah, he's incorporating all of the American sports in his signaling.
And I think that's appreciated.
Yeah, I love it. For one, and I think you're with me.
Oh, that one's Katie Coleman's going to do well to get up quickly before Kayla Addison is able to do a good job to get possession back to Lamanali. Lamanali has Kayla Addison, in the midfield. Hannah Crum's running out of it. Hannah Crum, right-footed strike. A great save there from Hartman.
You're right. He did that signal again. I love it.
And on both occasions, like, no one thought that was in.
Yeah,
like, it didn't even,
Yeah, he's just making sure people know.
Katie Coleman, right-footed effort again into the hands, but Hannah Crum gets a second and a third attempt. Wow.
Oh, my gosh. This is so exciting.
Hartman doing a really good job.
The indoor game is so exciting.
Not to say the outdoor game isn't, of course.
In a different way. You just get the flurry of shots like that, the way the boards keep it in. It's really fun to watch, and I think for the first-time fan, they really get treated to a lot of action.
Really great job from Hartman on that occasion to keep Zoo City FC with a 7-goal disadvantage. Still some work to do here in the fourth quarter for the visiting side, but Detroit City FC looking to end this game the way they started it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this brief intermission heading into the fourth quarter. Welcome back for the fourth quarter of action here at the Detroit City Fieldhouse. Detroit City FC looking good, 8-1 scoreline here for LaRouge. Dave, final 15 minutes for the visitors. What are they going to do to try to soften the blow a little bit of a tough car ride back home to the west side of the state?
Yeah, I think you said it. You wanna give yourselves something to celebrate, something to kind of latch onto for future games. I mean, the game's not over. Yeah, I've seen teams put it together and score a number of goals in quick succession, but at this point, I think maybe the goal becomes a little bit more like, let's play for pride. Let's see how we can. Let's finish the game strong on a strong note. And Detroit City FC has thus far really kept their foot on the gas. They're not going to make it easy. But if you're Zoo City, I think you got to try and give yourself something to feel good about. And you got 15 minutes to leave your mark.
See a change in goal for the visitors. We'll see what that does for the side. Not to say Hartman did anything wrong. I think she was one of the better players for the visiting team. No, really strong win there by Melissa Kinn. Kind of using the forearm just a little bit, as that one's going to go into the hands of Gabby Shriver.
Yeah, I think they travel with two goalies. You want to give them both experience of playing, and
not really much she can do wrong at this point.
That's right.
But that, again, not to say Hartman did anything wrong. I think she was one of the better players for the visiting side. Kept her side in this one maybe a little bit longer than they would have hoped to be.
For sure. She was outstanding. Made some very, very big saves.
Stefan does well to find Crum. Crum tried to kind of do the turn there, but a really good effort coming in. That one, it looked fast from up here. It was fast down there.
That's right. That's physics, right?
Wow. That was, it is. No, it is. You're not wrong. Yeah. Detroit City FC, we're kind of seeing the press kind of draw back just a little bit. I think they realize the state of the game and realize, what the situation currently is. No need to really tire yourself out as things stand. They're still going to go for it.
Yep.
as that one shot comes in, Danny Steffen's going to do well to try to get the pressure back on there.
I think you're right. I think game management, keeping the ball, not taking any unnecessary risks or chances. That you have when you have a 7-goal lead in the fourth quarter, you have the luxury of not needing to score, and you can use that in your favor and ideally keep everybody healthy. Although the tackles are still flying in.
Tackles are definitely always going to continue to fly in here at the Detroit City Fieldhouse as Claire Serino plays that one back. Tatiana
good
Mason.
First-time ball from Tatiana. Just
allows Crum to enter in, and Kayla Addison newly entered into the pitch. Kayla Addison in front of goal, the right-footed toe poke into the hands of the new goalkeeper for the visitors before it's thrown forward. And, we mentioned Bella Sabo got that hat trick early on in the match. Kayla Addison's still looking for hers for the second consecutive match, looking for a hat trick.
Yep, she's going to keep pushing for it, and Detroit City FC is going to continue to feed her the ball.
See a foul coming in now.
Yep. Mia Romeo, a little something extra, but I don't think anything malicious. The ref's just letting her know it looked a little bad, but I think it was just the result of some hard play.
So see some pizzas being placed down behind us. Not to look ahead, but hopefully that we kind of can get in on that action a little bit.
Maybe we can have a piece
if we're lucky.
Pizza's great, right?
Especially for like a post meal, like post match meal. I mean, we see it all the time. I mean, like you finish a youth soccer game. Pizza time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's just a great way to.
Great job there by Jack Koshko. Want to give a shout out to him there. Was able to get the ball back in play. Had to open the door a little bit to get that one through. We haven't seen any occasion this evening where the net's been on top of the goal, so things are a little bit better off on that occasion.
Yeah, that's right. Good memory. I was wondering if that was going to happen, but so far it hasn't.
Kayla Addison's going to receive the ball, and the Zoo City final fourth of the pitch plays it across, and just a weird kind of miskick there from Tatiana Mason, but does well to make up for her blushes and tried to play in. Kayla Addison unable to do so. Left-footed effort comes in from distance from Katie Coleman.
That was a great moment of unselfishness from Kayla Addison. You mentioned she's on a hat trick. She wants that goal, and yet she's doing what's right for the team. She's playing the extra ball. She's getting her teammates involved. Ooh, that's what you want from your target forward, the ability to kind of see the big picture and prioritize the success of the team.
Detroit City FC able to keep things alive in the final fourth of the pitch before that one's kind of blasted over there by Tatiana Mason. She's going to make her way. I thought she was running toward the bench, but stays on, and Kayla Addison comes off for Sabo.
I think they call that a fake substitution.
Is that like a deception thing, or like what's the – okay.
Yeah, keep them guessing.
Keep the mind games going even at 8-1.
Yeah.
Tatiana Mason running into the area. Bella Sabo's laid off for her, saved by the goalkeeper. Really good job by – yeah.
Good call.
You never want to hear Dave Dwayne say that's probably a foul and then giggle afterward. Yeah,
that was a little bit obvious, but handled well by Amanda Britton. I think, another priority for Detroit City FC is to get out of the game, uninjured, and you don't want to take any unnecessary chances, like I said earlier. But I think also the way you react to getting fouled is really important, and not many people better than Amanda Britton at getting fouled and getting on with it, and not taking exception to things and dusting herself off and focusing on the next play.
Megan Miles is that one off. Finds way to Bella Sabo. Sabo tried to play it across the face of goal. I believe she had Amanda Britton there at that near post. Played forward, and that's going to be cleared eventually away. But Tatiana Mason has another opinion on it. Tatiana Mason plays it in. The right-footed strike comes in. A great save by the newly introduced goalkeeper at half.
She's done well. She's made the goal small and come out. Oh, great move
Katie Coleman. Wow.
Special.
Katie Coleman threw the legs back and got the shot off eventually, but it's going to be cleared away, but only as far as Megan Miles, who plays it back to Mia Romeo, who has time and space to sort of be the quarterback in this situation, look forward and see, and a great ball roll right there from Romeo.
Yep, really nice, crafty move.
Sabo now dribbling, creating the space for herself, gets it over to Romeo, just unable to really get that final touch on it. Hannah Crum plays it, left-footed effort across the face of goal, coming all the way back out to Danny Steffen.
Going back to that move from Katie Coleman, I don't know that we do an official nutmeg count, but I think she's got 2 tonight.
Okay. So that's the unofficial nutmeg count for Katie Coleman.
For Katie Coleman,
okay.
Yeah. I think it's not a stat that she probably cares much about, but tonight I think she's got 2.
It looks good on camera, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll put that up right next to the scoreboard. We'll put, nutmeg count, score. Yeah.
All the important statistics being kept for you on our stream.
Mentioned looking good on camera. Huge shout out to Kyle Clayton operating that middle camera. Great. No touches from him tonight so far, but
still in 10 minutes, and
got time.
I'm hoping to see a touch from
time.
him because, man, he's good.
Great job from him. That one's going to be cleared away. Going to go over a couple lines before making its way to Zoo City FC, who kind of have struggled to, I can't really pick out a concrete Zoo City chance in the last 10 to 15 minutes of play.
No, they haven't really troubled the Detroit City FC back line. I think at this point they're certainly working hard. They're trying to get something going, but it's just been a lot of defending in their own half, and it's really tough when you're spending all that energy defending. It's really tough to generate anything going forward unless you can, get it on the counter with a quick line change or something like that. I think the legs start to feel heavy after all that defending.
Claire Serlino tried to play that one in, was unable to do so. 8-1 scoreline for Detroit City FC. Less than 9.5 minutes remaining. A really
here we go.
promising opportunity here for the visitors.
What
And a great job by Claire Serlino to get across to that one.
That was impressive.
The tenacity of that is what's really impressive considering the scoreline and the situation. But a goal comes in.
Yep.
So a second goal of the evening for the visitors. On that occasion, it was Mary Mitchell who added to the tally that was started off by Susanna Roberts in that first quarter. We mentioned limiting the blow. Car ride back home a little bit easier. That'll definitely lift the spirits of this visiting team as we have 9 minutes left here in the fourth.
And it was a well-deserved goal. They really, I think there was an amount of will there shown by the Zoo City team that was justly rewarded. Great effort by Claire Chirolino to get back and break that one up, but credit to the Zoo City player for keeping it going and having someone on the finishing end.
Great finish there by Mitchell to reduce the lead down to 6 goals. Hannah Crum receives the ball and plays it forward. McCarthy, a really clever back pass there, back to Crum. Get her back involved in play.
You were talking about the car ride home. I think on the other end of the spectrum, if you're City, you also want to make sure you see the game through in a way that you don't end up feeling a little bit of a sour. You don't want that sour taste in your mouth that your fourth quarter was your weakest showing. I think conceding a goal is fine, but they're going to want to respond now and exert themselves once again, try and establish dominance and see the game through confidently.
What game was it on the way home from the W League this year where I passed you on the freeway at like maybe 1:32 in the morning? What game was that?
Maybe the trip to Grand Rapids. I know you were there, but that was one of the far trips.
It was
maybe
one.
Columbus?
It might have. I think it was the Cleveland Force.
The Cleveland, sorry.
Yeah, Cleveland Force. And Dave's going to hate me saying this, but we were there to cover the game in Cleveland. It was the first win for the W League team that season.
Yep.
And Dave had the biggest smile. He didn't even know it was me coming up behind him, but I saw the sprint. That's an incredible bit of play there from Gabby
we're going to have to
Shriver.
come back to that, aren't we?
Gabby Shriver does such a great job to get it to Kayla Addison.
She's got herself an assist.
Oh, my goodness. That is ridiculous from this Detroit City FC squad. An incredible bit of play there from Gabby Shriver. And listen, at the end, it was Kayla Addison there to finish off the hat trick, but such an incredible bit of play there from the goalkeeper, Gabby Shriver, to set that one up.
Dynamic dribbling from Gabby Shriver. A little nutmeg count. We can start one for her as well. And a terrific ball off the boards that Kayla Addison was able to get on the finishing end of. Great goal.
That was impressive.
Yeah.
That was impressive. What, a double nut? Was that a double nutmeg?
I think there was at least one in there. So, in terms of the tallies, I think we got to get Gabby Shriver her own column.
Well, now we're asking a lot from our producer.
Yeah, well, they're good, right? I mean, they're up to the task.
Everyone on this broadcast is doing a great job.
Yeah, I second that.
9-2. On 9 occasions now. Also, Chris Mills has had to flick the lights off on 9 different occasions so far, and then turn them back on.
Yeah, and that's easy to forget.
And you're sitting at home, you're saying I turn the lights on and off every day, but it's high pressure down there in that corner.
There's people watching. There's other things going on. There's lights. I mean, like additional lights.
I know. Really great job by everyone kind of pulling together, just operating at a high level, everyone at the Detroit City Fieldhouse right now, especially those players down there on the field.
Oh, man, that was a terrific goal. And, we're talking about Zoo City getting a goal, getting a little morale boost, and how important it was for Detroit City FC to kind of wrestle things back in their favor and get a goal of their own. And that was a pretty electrifying goal, a great individual effort from Gabby Shriver dribbling forward. You don't say that often, but she turned creator there as the goalkeeper, and Kayla Addison completing her hat trick with a really well-timed and well-taken finish on the other end.
So that's 2 hat tricks this evening, one for Belasabo, one for Kayla Addison. What more could you ask for as forwards?
Yeah, that's your production team, right? Your two target players who are not necessarily changing for each other all the time, but they're usually taking, swapping that position in and out, and for them to both be so productive tonight, that's a really good sign, and hopefully gives both of them a lot of confidence in their goal-scoring ability for future games.
Back to what I was saying before that incredible goal, we were leaving Cleveland on the way home from covering that game, a 2-0 win for Detroit City FC on that occasion, and it's 1:30 in the morning. We're on 94 coming up through near Detroit, and I see these two Sprinter vans. I'm like, I know we took Sprinter vans down to the game, and when we pull up, it's Dave Dwayhe driving a van by himself, the biggest smile on his face coming back after his first win as head coach of Detroit City FC. Dave, just your involvement in this club, I think, gets understated at times. What about last season meant so much to you and what you were able to accomplish with that team and just really being the head coach of such an important team for the club?
Yeah, it was such a unique opportunity for me. I had the good fortune in the early days, in the first year of the club's existence, I had the luxury of being able to play, which was so awesome. It was certainly the most memorable, enjoyable playing experience I've ever had in my life. And then for years, I just, kind of took a back seat and enjoyed supporting the club from the sidelines. So to come back and have a meaningful role in game days and to be on I guess I remained on the sidelines, but as the coach for our W League team, that was a really neat kind of coming full circle moment for me to be able to work with the current players, and the group of women we had in the roster were just exceptional. I mean, great characters, great players, and it was an honor to be their coach. So that first win in Cleveland was extra special because it's always nice to have your efforts rewarded with a good result, and the team really deserved it. Everyone was really happy. We were kind of flying high that night, and it was really neat to be a part of it and to be part of a team again.
A really good opportunity here and a great save by Gabby Schreiber. So not only does she set up Kayla Addison for the 9th goal of the evening, she also comes back right out of that timeout with a great save to keep the advantage at 7 for Le Rouge.
Massive save. Gabby Schreiber does that. You talk about that night in Cleveland. I distinctly remember when the game was 1-0 before we kind of put it out of reach. She came up with a save not unlike the one you just saw her make, where she came off her line, made herself big, got a hand on a ball that was destined for the back of the net. She does that for her team. She keeps them in games. She makes big saves at big moments. You might argue that the one she just made wasn't as crucial as it was this summer, but I think in some ways, just from the standpoint of the momentum of this game and team morale and finishing the way you want to finish, that's a really key save for tonight.
Really good job here by Mia Romeo, keeping up the physical battle against the boards. It's Roberts going to get bested on that occasion, which is really impressive because Roberts has a couple inches on Mia Romeo. Gabby Schreiber's going to come out and cleanly win that ball off of Roberts, and that one's going to go out of play.
She's going to check on number 10. That's good sportsmanship from Gabby Schreiber.
And number 10 wasn't upset with how that went down.
No.
She saw that it was won cleanly and all that. So really good job on both occasions in the sportsmanship side.
Nice to see that. What a block.
Great effort there from Romeo, and just put her defender off enough to make sure that shot was messed up as Crum runs into it now.
Here comes Tatiana Mason.
Tatiana Mason going to take a left-footed strike. A really good save before the follow-up from Crum was just a little bit too high. And, Dave, I won't forget it. I was at the 2022 MAC Championship game at Ford Field. The USA just not lost to the Netherlands in the World Cup. And you texted me. You said, I'm a little bit concerned about this new W League coach's resume. And I was like, oh, no. Like, that's, who's this going to be? And then eventually after being like, oh, no, am I going to be concerned too? You said it's me, and I couldn't have been happier for you. So great to have you in that capacity as well as on the broadcast so far this evening. Another shot comes in.
And another goal for Tatiana Mason.
The crowd was chanting, we want 10, and on that occasion, they got 10. 10-2 here at the Detroit City Fieldhouse. I wish this was a Pride Raiser match with this scoreline.
Yeah, that would be helpful. That'd be good for the multiplier. Well, thanks for those kind words, Mackie. It really was an honor to coach the women. I'm excited to do it again this summer, and really look forward to continuing to play an active role in this awesome club.
Tell the audience who we just waved to down there.
Yeah, that's Matthew Walchowski, one of the members of our coaching staff on the W League team, heavily involved with our youth programs, coaches a number of our youth teams, especially on the girls' side. Fantastic human being, a great goalkeeper himself.
Working with some of the, obviously Gabby Schreiber, but Dayton Waymer last season, Madison Vukas as well, being under that stewardship. So a really great and really incredibly solid goalkeeper's room, and the dynamic of it too. You think about it, someone experienced as Schreiber, someone younger like Dayton Waymer, then someone in the middle of their college process is Madison Vukas. Just a really impressive goalkeeper room, but one where there's a lot of learning going on there. You can definitely tell.
Yep, and a great dynamic between them. Excited for each other, great teammates. always encouraging each other. Really, really nice to have your goalkeepers support each other like that, because it's a tricky position. You know, you're all kind of fighting for that one spot. And we got
another goal. Wow.
We got another goal. Claire Ciolino.
Claire Ciolino gets in on the act. Number 11 scores number 11, and that's pretty interesting because number 10, Hannah Crum, scored number 10. So if you want to go through the numbers, I don't know if we have a number 12 on this team. It's Shannon McCarthy. If she wants to get the 12th.
She's due.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, that's a great observation. It's impressive.
No number 13, so
it would have to end.
It would have to,
Shannon.
yeah, it would have to end. So if Shannon McCarthy can fulfill the prophecy here
man.
with just 5 minutes to play,
that'd be amazing.
It's going to be pretty, it's going to be pretty electric in here. I hope other people realize the importance of this potential 12th goal.
The numerical significance of it all.
I mean, yeah.
Very astute, Mackie.
You
see things.
Because I counted. Because I'm counting.
You count and you see.
They don't give journalism majors a lot of credit for how well they can count, but they should start.
You're challenging that stigma.
I'm breaking the numbers.
Yep.
And that one's Gabby Shriver feels a little bit of pain on that occasion.
Yeah.
Going to get up, and Megan Miles is going to roll
Megan
over.
Miles rolls herself to her feet.
Yep.
She's a warrior. She's a tough cookie.
It's hard to play this genre of soccer and not be tough, right? And not be brave with all that can happen, right?
Mm-hmm. I think you're almost like, it's like, I don't know, in some ways it's like going into a fight. You know, you're going to probably take a punch or two, not literally in this game, hopefully, but you're going to get thrown into the boards. You're going to get tripped. You're going to get pushed. You're going to get some extracurricular stuff going on, and you just kind of got to go into it knowing it's happening and brace yourself for it.
Katie Coleman plays that one across. Amanda Britton looks to run onto it. Does well to shield the ball, but only before it falls to the feet of the visitors. A really good move coming in, and an equally great save there by Gabby Shriver. Good pressing here by Amanda Britton, and a 9-goal advantage for Le Rouge. There's still pressing going on. There's still that work, that desire to put more goals on the board for this great crowd that we have on hand this evening. And everyone watching at home, we appreciate you tuning into tonight's broadcast.
Yep. And I think a great opportunity for Detroit City FC to see the game through, to finish on a strong note. You know, you want to prepare for future games. You always want to finish strong. The fourth quarter is your time to either close it out or make a comeback, whatever the game requires. But important that you finish on the sprint, so to speak.
A foul there in the midfield. And again, folks, if you're watching this game at home, come out on February 3rd. The next game for this PASL side against Louisville. Going to be a fun halftime. Don't want to spoil anything, but the men's team will already be in town by that point, so maybe they'll be involved a little bit in the halftime on that occasion. So definitely come out for that. Get to see some new faces perhaps for the first time, and you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss it.
That's right. And a fresh opponent in Louisville, and soccer in Louisville is very, very strong. They've got a fantastic W League team. They've got professional level there. They're no doubt going to bring it.
Gabby Shriver's going to play that one forward.
Oh,
a great header down, and just nearly
on
there. That would have been a great goal there, a great team goal in that circumstance.
Yep.
Bella Sabo is going to get onto it now. My personal woman of the match. Mia Romeo had a goal. She definitely would have been the woman of the match on this occasion. I think Sabo, the hat trick, starting the scoring off, doing well to continue to get on the score sheet as things progress. But Mia Romeo, it's, again, just like last week, I feel so bad for whoever makes that decision because every single player on this roster, starters, people coming off the bench, they've all been exceptional.
Yep, they're all making a case for themselves, and just through sheer force of will, they're all putting in the effort. They're all fighting for each other. I mean, when you got everybody on your roster from top to bottom doing that, you're gonna achieve something. And if this scoreline should hold, Detroit City FC would have their second well-deserved win in a row.
Detroit City FC now going back up a player after a blue card was issued to the visiting Zoo City FC. Club photographer John DeBoer was able to assist on opening that door there for the penalty box.
Well done, John.
Shot's going to come in, and I don't see Shannon McCarthy on the field, unfortunately. So if a goal's going to come from this opportunity here, I don't know if it'll be her or me. Romeo takes a right-footed effort there and nearly just able to squeeze it in between the goal and the wall. Looks like we'll get a set piece here right on the edge of the Zoo City area with just 2.5 minutes left to play in this fourth quarter. Mia Romeo is going to lay it off. A right-footed strike comes in and just over the bar. A left foot sort of acrobatic attempt there goes out. It'll be another free kick, but this time for the visitors as 2:27 remains on the clock. I'm telling you, I've seen that pizza get set down, and the people that I've seen take bites at it, I feel like it is for us more and more as the seconds tick on.
Your confidence is growing.
Yeah, and it couldn't be happier. I really couldn't be happier about that.
I'm excited for you.
I mean, you got to have.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, there's no way
to partake.
Mia Romeo trying to loft that one forward. It's going to go back against the boards and out through.
Maybe an opportunity to let the people at home listening in know that the pizza we're talking about was baked and manifested in our very own Detroit City Clubhouse kitchen. Chef Jack makes a really good pizza.
Chef Jack makes a mean pizza.
If you needed another reason to come out,
yeah,
consider that. The food at the clubhouse is really good. And
Chef Jack, what a great job he does with everything.
He's
I
amazing.
mean, not even just pizza. It's like, what can't that guy cook, really?
He's versatile. And the players on both the men's and women's team very grateful for his expertise and the delicious food he makes. Nutritious as well.
Gabby Shriver goes for goal, and I think the whole crowd kind of urged her to shoot.
Yeah, that was a decision made based purely on the spurring on from the crowd.
I think we would have had like a pitch invasion or something if she would have
crazy
scored. That would have been unbelievable.
Lights would have gone out and not come back on.
First goalkeeper goal in Detroit City FC history, easily. Last year we had Nate Steinwasser register an assist for the men's pro team,
That's
so
right.
a goal would have been fitting for this year.
And she does have her assist tonight.
True.
I think technically she probably got it for that Kayla Addison goal, so why not score a goal as well? That's a really nice.
And that's Shannon McCarthy running onto that one.
That was almost
70 seconds left to play here. Shannon McCarthy does well to probe the Zoo City defense as Mia Romeo thought about lining up a shot, thinks better of it, plays it back to Lama Nali. It's going to be played back across. I don't believe that was Lama Nali. That was
Katie Coleman.
Katie Coleman. The netting kind of tripping me up on some occasions here. Gabby Shriver back to claim it. And every single player on the pitch right now is in the final fourth for the visiting Zoo City FC. So Detroit City FC, if they want to take it as 45 seconds to really create and get a 12th goal here on this board, that one's going to be played up and out of play. The fans getting into it now.
Yep, finishing strong.
And they've been strong all night.
They have. They always bring it, and I think the women on this Detroit City FC team, that was almost it.
And I tell you, that was Shannon McCarthy. So if that would have wow.
It's like she knows.
There's no way they're doing the math down there that we're doing up here. It's not even math, right? But
uh-oh.
Gabby Shriver charging forward. Does well to retain possession despite being kind of held on to a little bit there. Goes to ground, but there's going to trust Hannah Crum and Melissa Kinn across the face of goal. Really good job there by Melissa Kinn to play in Shannon McCarthy, who has 10 seconds to do something that no one else would find interesting other than us. Danny Steffen now as the clock reaches 5. Played across. Another shot's going to come in. A great save, and that will do it. Detroit City FC holds on to their second win in as many matches. On this occasion, the scoreline being 11-2. Dave, what did you like out of this performance from Detroit City FC?
I thought, throughout the entire game, the level of intensity, the perseverance, the togetherness demonstrated on the field by the Detroit City FC players was first rate. They got goals to reward those efforts, but whether the goals had come or not, I think that there was a determination in their play tonight from the kickoff until the end that served them very well, and really impressed with the quality of the play as well. Yeah,
and we talked about it when the score was 5-1, and we talked about it last week when the score was 5-1, but 11-2, it still didn't slip, right? The effort, the want was there from Detroit City FC all throughout, and really impressive from Danny Evans and her side.
For sure, no complacency in this group, and I think a resolve to put on a good show, a complete show for the crowd that made the trip out to the Fieldhouse tonight.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this occasion. Definitely be sure to be there on February 3rd when Detroit City FC welcomes Louisville to the Detroit City Fieldhouse. Tickets online are available for only $5. Again, I've been Jarrett Mackey alongside David Dway. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.
Good night, everyone.